Hello, and welcome to another episode of Speak, Film, and Enter, a podcast where we review and rank movies. I'm Nate.
And I'm Dylan.
And in this case, I guess we also recommend movies. It is time again
do.
for our monthly recommendations episode, how we like to start each month, where we've got 6 categories. And today it's just myself and Dylan who are going to be recommending 6 movies to you, all of which are available on some of the larger streaming platforms. In today's case, I think they're all on Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So really quick, do we want to run through what those categories are, and then we can get into our recommendations?
Yeah, so for our recommendation episode, we have new movie, hidden gem, classic, family movie, foreign movie, and last but not least, a popcorn movie.
Yeah.
Which kind of open to interpretation. We've gone a few different directions on the popcorn movie.
We have just kind of something fun, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But like that too, you don't
or
know,
like either like fun or like a big capital M movie, just kind of one that's like, you know, big names, big director, you know, something that just kind of feels epic. Let's get the popcorn out for it.
Right.
But yeah, and unfortunately Adam was not able to join us. However, he did send us his 2 recommendations. We split the 6 categories into 2 each that we take, so we have his choices as well. And yeah, so these are recommendations for August. Should we get right into it?
Yeah. So Adam had a new movie this month. So for that, he's recommending Prey, which is out on Hulu on August 5th. And do you want to tell the people what it's about?
Yeah, so Prey, you may have heard about it, maybe not. It is a Predator movie in the world of Predator, the origin story of the Predator in the world of the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. Naru, a skilled female warrior, fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth. So kind of takes the Predator concept, gives it a little twist, throws it way backwards as opposed to kind of the road that it went down with, like, you know, the sequels and then Alien vs. Predator and all that. It kind of just removes all that and goes right to the very beginning, kind of the idea of like the first one that would have landed on Earth. So it's a little bit of a twist on it. I can see why Adam is recommending it though, because it does have pretty good reviews so far. I believe it's got like a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's up there for sure. Yeah. And you know what's actually kind of fun is I've never seen a single Predator movie. Ooh. So I can watch this because it's before all the other stuff.
That's true.
And I will be watching it this weekend.
Okay, yeah, as will I. And I will say, if you have a fun time with it, the first Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jesse Ventura in the jungle, it is pretty fun. It's very 80s action, like
I should really check out a movie with our beloved ex-governor.
I know, right? You gotta see it.
I feel like I have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah. So Prey on Hulu drops August 5th. Getting good reviews. Seems like a fun time if you like action, sci-fi, horror stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a solid recommendation from Adam. I'm up next with Hidden Gem. So I'm taking it in a very dark direction. This is 2016's Nocturnal Animals. I feel like part of the reason this movie isn't more well known is because it is quite dark. It's one of those movies that's kind of about how awful people can be, but there's also kind of an artistic twist to it. Here's the summary of it. A wealthy art gallery owner is haunted by her ex-husband's novel, a violent thriller she interprets as a symbolic revenge tale. So they do a lot of interesting things with, you're seeing the story of the novel play out. So you're seeing like kind of a visual representation of the novel as she reads it. You're also following things in real time with her, and you're getting flashbacks to when her and her husband were together. And I think, besides the fact that it has a lot of kind of interesting things going on, and I like that it weaves multiple storylines, including a fake storyline that we know is fake, but is still intriguing. The best thing for me about this movie is the performances. Just want to run down the list real quick. We have Jake Gyllenhaal, always kills it. Amy Adams, they're the 2 leads. We also have Michael Shannon, who plays like a rugged kind of end of his rope detective. We have Aaron Taylor Johnson, who has just a crazy turn as the psychotic villain. He absolutely kills it. We also have Isla Fisher. We never know. Armie Hammer is also in this movie. We have Laura Linney and Michael Sheen, who you might recognize from like Good Omens. He's a British actor, or is it Bad Omens? I can't remember. It's Good Omens or Bad Omens.
Good Omens.
Good Omens. Yep.
Yeah.
But mostly, I just remember seeing it, and you have to be in the mood for darkness. Like I said, there's some pretty hard to watch things, but also, in my opinion, I think there is a decent payoff, and I think that it's really well done. However, disclaimer: the opening credits to this movie are very a bold choice, but do not, in my opinion, do not get don't give up just because of the opening credits. But I think I'm sure there's a reason why they are the way they are, but you'll see it. And then because it is so dark, I was a little torn. If you're really not in the mood, but you're still looking for a hidden gem, I'm just going to briefly also recommend I Lost My Body, which is also on Netflix. It's from 2019. It's an animated movie, just a kind of sweet, heartfelt, kind of cerebral movie of a young man who loses his hand. And so his hand kind of has a life of its own while he's trying to find his hand. So very interesting concept. But if you're in the mood for some darkness, go with Nocturnal Animals. If you just kind of want an interesting, beautifully animated story from 2019, you can go with I Lost My Body. So those are my 1.5 recommendations there for Hidden Gem.
So for classic, I'm going to be recommending Monty Python's Life of Brian, which you hear Monty Python, it's a comedy. This is a wonderful comedy from 1979. Brian Cohen is an average young Jewish man, but through a series of ridiculous events, he gains a reputation as the Messiah. And it's Monty Python's look at organized religion and politics. And if you've seen a Monty Python movie, you've seen Holy Grail, it's almost as funny as Holy Grail, in my opinion. They're like 1A and 1B for Monty Python stuff. This movie's just fantastic, and it's been on Netflix for a really, really long time. Which is nice because it's one of those movies that I just kind of like to throw on when I don't quite know what else to watch. Because it is just so scene by scene. You can just watch for 10 minutes and get a bunch of laughs out of it, and then just be like, okay, I can pick this up again later, because it's not so much about the story, although there is a pretty solid one in here as well.
Agreed. All right.
So that's the classic recommendation. And then for family movie, my dad will like this. I am recommending Fly Away Home, which is currently on Hulu, also commonly referred to as the Goose or the Geese movie.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
there you go.
There we go. The Geese movie, of course.
You know how good this movie of a family movie this is? I hate geese, and I really like this movie.
Don't we all?
Amy is only 13 years old when her mother is killed. She goes to Canada to live with her father, an eccentric inventor whom she barely knows. Amy is miserable in her new life until she discovers a nest of goose eggs that were abandoned when a local forest is torn down. The eggs hatch, and Amy becomes Mama Goose. When winter comes, Amy and her dad must find a way to lead the birds south. And it's a fun cast with the father-daughter combo, because Jeff Daniels plays the dad, and a young Anna Paquin plays the daughter.
Wow. Totally forgot.
Yeah, and this is just a really sweet, fun family movie with good characters. I haven't watched this in a long time. I might rewatch it again now too, but I watched this a lot when I was a kid. It was one of my dad's favorites of kind of the family kids movies we'd watch in the 90s when my brother and I were growing up. And as soon as I saw this was on Hulu, I was just like, okay, guys, I need to do family movie this month, because I need to let people know that Fly Away Home, 1996.
Wow. Yeah.
So just
I feel like this was definitely one that I would watch in after school, Adventure Club, if it was raining and they put a movie on. This was definitely Fly Away Home, Brave Little Toaster.
Oh man, you can't find the Brave Little Toaster anywhere.
I know, it has descended into cult obscurity.
It's you can't even rent it anywhere for like streaming. It's just like not on. I mean, I'm sure it's on the internet somewhere, but it's nowhere legally on the internet.
Oh man, nice. That's a good choice. Wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
All right. On to me for a foreign movie, and I'm going with the scary route. Veronica. This is a horror movie from. Oh, 1 second. I went away from the page. From 2017. This is a Spanish movie. It's a legit horror movie. So if you're not in the mood for that, wouldn't recommend it. But Madrid, 1991. A teen girl finds herself besieged by an evil supernatural force after she played with a Ouija board with 2 classmates. Just a classic setup there.
Foolish.
Yep, exactly.
Never do that.
It's filmed very well. It has a really great lead performance from, what is her name? Sandra Escacena. But really, kids messing with Ouija boards, throwback to the early 90s. It's got a lot going for it. It's very unique, and I think it has some really good jump scares, has some really good kind of slow burn, kind of building the dread type of scares as well. And I think it's just really well done. Directed by Paco Plaza. Oh, written and directed by Paco Plaza, which is just an awesome name.
Double threat.
I know. So yeah, Veronica, 2017 Spanish movie on Netflix. If you haven't seen it and you're a horror fan, I would definitely recommend it.
Nice. I might get to this one in October.
Oh yeah, that would.
So then, lastly, we have Popcorn Movie, and I will be recommending The Nice Guys, which will be on Netflix on August 9th. It's not quite there yet, but it will be finally arriving on Netflix. And this is just simply, I think, one of the best comedies of the 2010s, and nobody's heard of it. I've introduced this movie to so many people. I feel like it has such a wide appeal. I mean, it's just all the ingredients are there for like a huge summer action comedy blockbuster that just like kills at the box office. And something happened and nobody went to see this movie. Nobody's heard of it. It's got Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe as the leads in like a great buddy cop pairing. And they really both get to show off their comedic chops. Ryan Gosling in particular is really, really funny.
And like a period, a throwback, right?
Set in the 70s.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's not
amongst
to love?
Like the Hollywood porn industry?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, this, I know you're a big Nice Guys fan. I believe, do you have a poster of it behind you? Or is that not one of the ones?
I do.
Yep. It's kind of hard to see, but yep, a minimalist poster of the Nice Guys.
Yeah, it's the one that my head blocks.
Well, there you go. See, it doesn't even get its due respect on this podcast.
On my wall.
Yeah.
I put it in the one place where the viewers can't see it.
Yep.
I even looked back and I was like, no, I don't think it's back there. Just like looking behind me. I was like, oh, yep, there it is. I had to move. But yeah, that's The Nice Guys. Choice. Phenomenal comedy. Please check it out. Mm-hmm. And yeah, those are our 6 recommendations for August.
All right. Awesome. And I think before we end the podcast, do we want to just tell people some of the movies that we'll be reviewing later this month?
Yeah, we can give a little preview, at least of the next couple weeks. We're going to be getting to Bullet Train, starring Brad Pitt and a whole host of other A-list actors. That's coming out this weekend. 13 Lives by Ron Howard comes out on Prime on August 5th, which we talked about the documentary The Rescue last year about the youth soccer team in Thailand that got trapped in these caves when there was unexpected early season flooding, and then kind of the journey and the heroics to get them out of there alive. So there was a documentary called The Rescue, which is currently on Disney Plus. Highly recommended.
Indeed.
Ron Howard started making a movie before they started making the documentary, delayed because of COVID. So now the documentary beat him to the punch.
Stole the thunder.
Curious about, but it stars Viggo Mortensen, Joel Edgerton, and Colin Farrell.
Whoa. Okay.
So cool. Big cast. It's getting mostly very good reviews so far. We'll be getting to that. And then next weekend, a horror comedy that I've been looking forward to for like 5 months called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Yes.
Will be playing in theaters. And I'll give a really quick, I need to see who's all in the movie because it's a
pretty big cast.
It is.
Written and directed by Olivia Wilde?
No. This has nothing to do with Olivia Wilde.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Helena Regin is
the
director.
I'm confusing it with the
Yep.
With Don't Worry,
Don't
Darling.
Worry, Darling.
Okay, when I saw Nope, these two were right next to each other.
Oh,
it was one preview followed by the other, so that's why I got confused.
No, so this one is in an isolated family mansion. A group of rich 20-somethings decide to play Bodies, 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 a game where one of them is secretly a killer while the rest try to escape. Things take a turn for the worse when real bodies start turning up, setting off a paranoid and dangerous chain of events. So there's just like rich kids, and oh no, there's actually a murder. What do we do? And it's got Pete Davidson, Amanda Stenberg, who was the lead in The Hate U Give and also played, what was her name, Rue in The Hunger Games. And then Maria Bakalova, who was just recently in the Borat sequel, where I believe she was nominated for Golden Globe. And then also it's got Rachel Sennott, who was the lead in Shiva Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Which came out last year that I really liked. So just a lot of like Pete Davidson, and then just a lot of kind of up and coming 20-somethings actresses. And I think this looks great. So we'll be getting to those three. And then mixed in there, probably after Bodies, Bodies, Bodies comes out, we will finally have our, I think it'll be top 5, but at least best of the first half of the year. Most people do this at the official midpoint of the year, but we kind of like to wait until the summer blockbusters are all done, because otherwise it feels like you're just cutting that in half. And then once you hit like September, that's when all the awards movies start to trickle in, and then like October, November, like really start coming out. So I always feel like middle of August is kind of a nice spot to do the sort of halfway point. Also, because the first year we did this, we started in the middle of August, and we wanted to do a best of the first half of the year, and it wasn't June or July, so we couldn't do it that way. But we've kind of made it a tradition now to do those about midway through August, once all the summer blockbusters have come out.
Absolutely. So yeah, you can have those to look forward to. And then I believe, is it my turn to put a wrap on the show?
It is.
All right. The things you love about him now are the things you'll hate in a few years.